I've been buying TVs for over 30 years now, and I remember when choosing one was simple. You'd walk into a store, see 3 or 4 models, and pick the one that looked best. Today, I stood in Costco last week staring at a wall of screens, all flashing the same demo footage, and I honestly couldn't tell you which one was worth the money. The prices look great, the names sound impressive, but something feels different than it used to. So let's talk about what's actually worth your money in 2026, because frankly, it's gotten complicated, and I think a lot of us feel the same frustration. Before we dive in, I'd really appreciate it if you'd subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. It helps more people find videos like this where we try to cut through the noise and just talk straight about what works and what doesn't. I've also put links to all the TVs we'll be discussing today in the description below, so check those out if you want to see current pricing and availability. And I'm genuinely curious, which TV are you using right now and what problems are you facing with it? Is the picture too dim? Did it slow down after a year? Does the remote drive you crazy? Leave a comment below because your experience helps everyone watching this make better decisions. Understanding today's TV market, why shopping feels confusing. Now, let's be honest about something right up front. Shopping for TVs today feels nothing like it did when we were younger. I remember my parents buying a Zenith console TV in the 70s that lasted until I was in college. It was heavy as a car, had about 6 moving parts, and the biggest decision was whether you wanted fake wood grain or real wood grain. Today, you're comparing refresh rates, panel types, operating systems, HDR formats, and 50 different model numbers that all sound the same. And here's what nobody really explains clearly. Many of those model numbers are actually specific to certain stores, which makes comparing prices almost impossible unless you know what you're looking for. This isn't some dark secret or conspiracy. It's been happening across retail for decades, not just with TVs, but with everything from refrigerators to faucets to washing machines. Manufacturers create slightly different versions of the same basic product and give them different model numbers so that stores can advertise exclusive deals and you can't easily price match between competitors. Sometimes the differences are meaningful, like a better processor or an extra HDMI port. Sometimes they're cosmetic, like a different remote or a slightly different stand. And sometimes, honestly, the differences are hard to pin down at all. It's legal, it's common, and it's driven by the constant pressure to offer the lowest advertised price. I'm not saying it's consumer-friendly, but understanding how it works helps you shop smarter instead of just feeling confused and frustrated. Why Costco is worth considering for TV purchases. Costco is actually one of the better places to buy TVs, not because their selection is necessarily better than anyone else's, but because of the perks that come with membership. They offer a 90-day return policy, which is generous compared to the 30 days you'll find most places. They extend the manufacturer's warranty by an extra year for electronics, and if you use a Costco credit card, you get another year on top of that. For TVs 55 inches and larger, they deliver it into the room of your choice and haul away your old one, which when you're our age and not interested in throwing out your back, that matters. These aren't small things. They're the kind of practical benefits that actually make a difference when something goes wrong, or when you realize the TV you bought is too bright for your bedroom or too dim for your sunlit living room. Timing your purchase, January and Super Bowl sales. So what's actually on sale right now that's worth considering? We're in early January 2026, which means we're in that sweet spot right after the holidays when stores are clearing out last year's inventory to make room for the new models that'll be announced in the next few months. You're also heading into Super Bowl season, which historically has been one of the best times of the year to buy a TV, because retailers know people want to upgrade before the big game. The deals you're seeing now on 2025 models are often as good or better than what you saw on Black Friday. And if you can wait another few weeks into late January or early February, you might see prices drop even further as the pressure to clear inventory increases. Premium options: Sony Bravia, LG, and Samsung. Let's talk about what's actually good. Sony Bravia models, particularly the ones with mini LED backlighting, are consistently excellent. They're not the cheapest option, but they deliver sharp, accurate pictures with good motion handling, which matters if you watch a lot of sports or fast-action movies. Sony's image processing is genuinely better than most competitors, meaning the TV does a better job of making regular cable or streaming content look good, not just the fancy 4K demo footage they play in stores. If you see a 65-inch Sony with mini LED and 120 Hz refresh rate for under $2,000, that's a solid deal. You're paying more than budget brands, but you're getting a TV that'll likely look good and work reliably for years. LG OLEDs, particularly the B series or C series like the B5 or C5, are worth considering if you watch a lot of TV in a darker room. OLED technology delivers perfect blacks because each pixel can turn completely off, which makes movies and shows with dark scenes look incredible. The trade-off is brightness. OLEDs aren't as bright as the best LED models, so if your living room has big windows and a lot of afternoon sun, you might find the picture washed out. But for evening viewing or a dedicated TV room, they're beautiful. A 65-inch LG B5 around $999, which is the kind of price you're seeing now, used to be unthinkable. That's legitimately a strong value if it fits your viewing environment. Samsung's QOLED models like the S90 combine the deep blacks of OLED with brighter, more vibrant colors than traditional OLEDs. They're particularly good for gaming if you or your grandkids have a PlayStation 5 or Xbox because they support high refresh rates and variable refresh rate technology that makes games look smoother. A 65-inch Samsung S90 for $2,000 is competitive with similar models elsewhere. And Samsung's interface is pretty straightforward, which matters if you're not interested in figuring out a complicated menu system every time you want to change an input. Budget-friendly options, TCL and Hisense. Now, if you're looking to spend less, TCL and Hisense have come a long way in the last few years. The TCL 6 series and QM8 models offer mini LED backlighting, good local dimming, and refresh rates up to 144 Hz for under $800 in the 65 to 75-inch range. That's remarkable value for what you're getting. Hisense models like the U75 or C79 are similarly impressive for under $1,000, with bold colors and solid motion handling that'll handle sports and action movies better than the basic LCD panels you'll find on cheaper sets. The catch with both brands is consistency. Some panels are excellent, some are just okay, and you won't know which one you got until you open the box. That's where Costco's 90-day return policy becomes really valuable. Buy it, set it up, watch it for a few weeks, and if you're not happy with the picture quality, return it. No guilt, no hassle. What to avoid? Bottom-tier models. The absolute bottom-tier models from any brand, even the big names, basic Samsung Crystal or entry-level Vizio sets might look appealing because they're cheap and huge, but the picture quality is often disappointing, especially in bright rooms or with fast motion. If you're prioritizing size over everything else and just want the biggest screen possible for the least money, fine, but understand you're compromising on almost everything else. I'd rather have a smaller TV with a better panel than a giant screen that looks washed out and blurry. Practical buying advice: what to check before you buy. Here's what I'd actually check before buying anything. First, if possible, go look at the TV in person, even if you're planning to buy it online. Costco's warehouse displays aren't always set up ideally, but you can at least get a sense of brightness and viewing angles. Second, look up the specific model number online and read reviews from sites like RTings or Consumer Reports that actually measure performance instead of just repeating marketing claims. Fourth, check what inputs and features it has. If you're planning to connect a soundbar, a Blu-ray player, a cable box, and a gaming console, make sure there are enough HDMI ports and that at least one supports the latest HDMI 2.1 standard if you care about gaming. Fifth, think about where the TV is going and how you watch. A bright QLED might be perfect for a sunny living room, but feel harsh and oversaturated in a dim bedroom. An OLED might be stunning for movie nights, but frustrating for daytime TV with lots of windows. Store displays versus real-world viewing. And here's something I learned the hard way over the years. The TV that looks best in the store with demo footage might not be the TV that looks best at home with regular content. Stores crank the brightness and color saturation way up to grab your attention, and they play specially mastered footage that shows off the best possible picture. Your cable news, your old DVDs, your streaming shows, they're not going to look like that, and that's okay.
What you want is a TV that makes normal content look good without constantly fiddling with settings. And that's where brands like Sony and LG tend to shine, because their processing is designed for real-world viewing, not just showroom demos. Smart TV platforms and long-term performance. One more thing worth mentioning, the smart TV platforms. Every modern TV has apps built in for Netflix, YouTube, all the streaming services, and they all work fine when the TV is new. But over time, as apps update and demand more processing power, cheaper TVs with slower processors can start to feel sluggish and frustrating. This is one reason I often suggest people consider using an external streaming device, like a Roku or an Apple TV, instead of relying on the TV's built-in apps. It costs a little extra upfront, but when the TV software starts feeling slow in 3 or 4 years, you can just replace the $50 streaming box instead of the whole TV. It's the same philosophy as buying a simpler appliance with less electronics that can break. Sometimes less is more.
So where does that leave us? If you're shopping at Costco in January or early February 2026, you're in a good position to find a deal. The 65-inch and 75-inch sizes are where the value is right now, because that's what most people are buying and where the competition is fiercest. Prioritize TVs with mini LED or OLED panels if you can afford them. Look for 120 Hz refresh rates. And don't be afraid of brands like TCL and Hisense if you're willing to take advantage of Costco's return policy. Sony and LG offer more consistency and better long-term reliability if you'd rather not worry about panel lottery. Samsung sits in the middle, good quality, and features with decent reliability. And remember, this is your money, your home, and your time. Don't let anyone pressure you into buying something that doesn't feel right. And don't feel bad about returning something if it doesn't meet your expectations. We grew up in a time when you bought something and you were stuck with it, but that's not how it works anymore. And you should take advantage of that. Do your research, ask questions, compare your options, and trust your own judgment. You've been making these kinds of decisions for decades. You know what matters to you and what doesn't. That's it for today's video. I hope this helps clarify what's actually worth considering at Costco right now and what you can safely skip. Don't forget to check out the links in the description below for current pricing and availability on all the models we discussed. If you found this useful, please share it with a friend or family member who's also trying to figure out this TV market. And again, let me know in the comments what TV you're using and what your experience has been. We're all learning from each other here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.